Welcome to the Miners Coffee Podcast, the show where we'll bring you the best of coffee, entrepreneurship, success, and urban lifestyle. I'm Sarah, full-time coffee fanatic, former barista, and now your host. Together, we'll take a deep dive into what makes the Miners and other companies like it stand apart from the rest. We'll look at how businesses grow from an idea you had just before bed into internationally known enterprises. We'll interview the people who lead the charge and learn what makes them tick. And hopefully, by the end of it, you may be inspired to go out and create something from nothing yourself. So, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm so excited to introduce you to today's guest. He is the founder of one of my favorite bakeries here in Prague. So please welcome Davíd Arnórsson.
Yes, Arnórsson.
Of Artic Bakehouse. So, hi Davíd, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you so much for coming today.
My pleasure.
So, as we were kind of discussing a little bit earlier, I could probably talk about the cherry bombs and the scones of Artic for the entire episode. But maybe we should start with a little bit about you. So,
yeah, I am just a normal Icelandic dude trying to explore the world and try to have some adventure, everybody wants inside, and I decided to do it. I really wanted to. I started really early baking and started my own business in Iceland, and I have a bakery in Reykjavik. But it was something it was not fulfilling, you know.
No?
No, I need more, because in my deep inside, I always wanted to go abroad somewhere, not Iceland, you know, and try to do it in a situation that I didn't know, like the system or anything or the people, and see what would happen. And during traveling a few years, I didn't see any location that really I liked. But when I came to Prague, it was like a really no-brainer. I was like, after 2 days here, I decided to do it, and inside of a month, it was up and going. I had a location, I had everything, so I could start working on it. So I had to sell everything I had in Iceland and just get the fuck out of Iceland and go to Prague.
So were you actively looking for a place, or you're just kind of traveling and you happened to visit Prague and really liked it?
Kind of like that. It was really kind of a dream that I knew it was 50-50 if it was going to happen or not. But when I realized it was, you know, I really just needed to find a place. Some energy started to grow inside of you, and you just you start to believe in your dream, and you just go for it. Which is it's kind of for people maybe risky, but you know, you have to have this attitude, I don't give a shit. You know?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of go for it and see what happens.
Yes.
And you said you started baking quite young. Can you tell me maybe a little bit more about why and how?
Yeah, for sure. My father is a baker, and he's my role model in life. And he's perfect, too perfect.
Perfect.
He is.
Oh.
And I remember, I think it was 8 or 9 years old when I really realized what being a baker is, because I was always in the bakery visiting him. So I always wanted to go with him during the night, not when people are awake, because it was it's so cool to be awake in the night because you're not allowed when you're such a young age. And he always said no until, you know, when you're a kid, you don't give up. And one day he said, yeah, come. And I will never forget this night. And something happened inside of me. It was such I can't, it's really difficult to explain, but I liked it a lot. So I decided to be a baker when I was 9 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had this amount of clarity as a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I think everybody can do it. You just have to be okay, you have to be smart or stupid. Maybe I'm stupid, I don't know. But it's it's beneficial of everything you do. And making a decision is part of having passion. Passion doesn't come in a grocery shop or by lightning, or you have to really make a decision. And the better you get at it, the more passion you can have. And I'm grateful that I've been doing one profession since I was born.
Yeah, that's incredible. Not many people can say that.
Yeah, that's true. But hopefully people that are listening, that they can actually... I'm not joking. This is the only way to get really good results in something. It's just like you have to don't focus on too many things.
To just focus on one thing? Is that what you said? Or
yeah, if you're going to use it for profession, and if you career driven, money driven, whatever you want, but you cannot be money driven in any business. It's impossible.
But do you think ever making this passion into a business can lead to maybe taking some of the joy out of it? Or have you experienced that?
I'm really, I don't have to do that because my partner is Icelandic and he is the money man, and I'm not. So I don't have to. I'm kind of a hippie guy and surrounded by flower and people. And yeah, I'm really fortunate. I'm really, really, really lucky.
So you can focus more on the baking aspect, whereas your partner is focusing on the business.
Yes, and of course, when we go to expand, and when we have to make decisions and stuff, that's done by us. And of course, we are involved in. He's involved in the baking, and I'm involved in the business with in the office. We have office together, and I said we are. I really know what he's doing, and he really knows what I'm doing. But I don't have to worry about what he's doing, and he doesn't have to worry about what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's great if you can trust each other enough to kind of handle the separate sides of the business.
Yeah, I trust him with my life. Like I said, if you're gonna go to a partnership with someone, if you have a good feeling, just do it. And if he fucks you up, he will just fuck you up. Don't worry about it.
Were you friends first or partners first?
Actually, he's quite older than me. I've known him since I was 4 or something. He's kind of a family, and he's also a fan of my father. Seriously, our path crossed in Iceland in some business, and we know each other, and yeah, so it was, and he was in Prague when I came here for a visit. It was kind of a fun, it is kind of a meant to be story.
Yeah, it sounds pretty serendipitous.
And now we have Artic Bakehouse, and that's that's me and Guðbjartur Guðbjartsson. He is the most amazing man I know. My father's number 1, Guðbjartur's number 2.
So obviously your dad had a big influence on your career, but I mean, with you and your partner both being from Iceland, and what would you say is the biggest thing you've brought with you from Iceland? How is the culture and the food scene there impacted what you do here? And yeah, if you could tell me even just a little bit about Iceland, I would love to go. But
yeah, so the question is the differences between where I come from and here, or
yeah, and what you brung with you. I think that's one of the things I actually miss the most as an expat is the food from home. But you kind of brought your food culture with you. So
yes, the baking part, but I miss the most. First and foremost is fish. Icelandic fish is the best fish in the world. Like everybody say, where you're from is the best, blah blah blah. But this is official. Icelandic fish is the best fish in the world.
I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, it is and I was hurried when I was younger, and I know it when I start traveling and I came back home. It's no doubt about it. So yeah, fish is number 1, and and the ocean. I miss seeing the ocean. I was born and raised in a little island called Vestmannaeyjar. It's south of Iceland. It's 4,000 people live there, and everywhere you look, you can see the ocean and the smell of ocean. So Prague is basically quite opposite.
Yeah, definitely landlocked country.
Yeah, but Prague is unbelievably colorful. There are a lot of expats and is really international. So you meet people and they're surprisingly different. When you come from Iceland, there are not so different. You understand? So
The people.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like they're isolated nation, and they have like they eat the same food, they hear the same stuff. That everybody has the same story to tell, kind of. Like I'm not talking down to these people. I'm just saying, and I was one of them. So it's really good for everybody to like expand, go somewhere and like I'm doing here. And this is what I love most about Prague. Is like you never know. It's like you never know what conversation you're gonna have with someone. You can meet so many interesting people, or not. But meeting not interesting people is also interesting, kind of. So it's really colorful when you look at the people. Nature-wise, is like nothing compared to Iceland.
Yeah, I would really. This is why I would love to go to Iceland, is for the nature.
Yeah, Iceland is really like a weird nature. Like that's why it's cool. Like you're like, what is this? And I actually have this same feeling myself when I come back home. Like now I'm kind of like a tourist in my own country. Like,
Do you visit often?
not often. I can do it more often now, but like in the beginning, I was really stuck here.
Yeah, because I mean, you only opened in 2017,
Yes, that's true.
so it hasn't been so long.
No, it hasn't. Yeah, so like the first 3 years was basically work every day and always more than 12 hours, and so there was no room for traveling or whatsoever.
I'm sure the first couple years of a startup is like hit or miss,
Yeah,
or make it or break it.
yeah, especially when like when it got really popular from day one. Kind of, I thought it would be like more slowly growth from this Arctic concept that I made, but it didn't. It was like actually it was kind of a problem, to be honest.
Of how fast you were going.
Yeah.
And so did you start with just the one location, and was it very similar to the bakery you had in Iceland, or was it a completely different concept?
Yeah, completely different.
Yeah? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's like we opened up a store with more kind of it was bread and everything that I'm doing in here, but I also had chocolates, and I have like desserts and cakes and stuff like that, because I'm also a pastry chef, and I am a chocolatier kind of, because I dedicated a few years in my life traveling and to making chocolates. But there was one year that I decided like I'm going back to fucking baking, man. It's like I love it, like sourdough, and it was, yeah. And then few years later, I'm ended up here, of course, and yeah. So that concept is really like really difficult to handle, to be honest.
What is difficult to handle?
The concept that I have in Iceland.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much. It's like chocolates and desserts and breads are not the same. It's not the same thing, of course. So, and all of these things are really difficult to handle. And Artic Bakehouse, we really try to keeping it real. Like we produce something that is our favorite, of course. Mm-hmm. We are, and when you put something out there, you have to be able to do that every day. Consistently, because the customers, like, they will want it back, and so you cannot be fucking around. You really have to stand. Like, you have to deliver 7:00. We open, and it has to be there in every location. And so, and of course, we always are. And now we have a new Icelandic guy called Axel Thorsteinsson. We actually robbed him from Dubai. He was working there as a head chef in really like cool bakeries and companies. I know him from childhood, kind of, and he is really valuable now for the company, because we need more like chefs like in the company. And now he is running he's head of so many things now that takes it away from me. So I can be sleeping, so I can live like and expand the company, and we are making and he's from Iceland too, so we are building up a team so we can expand more, because we want to bring some more cool locations and different ideas to other locations here in Prague, which will happen hopefully one this year and few next year.
So from the concept you had in Iceland, here you kind of pared it down and decided like what you did best, and it's more focused, you would say.
Yeah. And I've been in this business for so many years, and I know what I actually learned how men should not do it.
Really?
Yeah, I was always where I'm working is always so fucking bullshit, and that's the best school, and when you start to do something right, you do it for a reason, like so. I really know how to make business out of this. That's basically the only thing I know.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can dedicate all of your time to that, then you can be the best at it.
Yeah, hopefully. But I don't care. I know I'm good. I'm good enough for me. I'm trying just to be the best version of myself I can be, and then we will see how far I will go.
So then it sounds like your goal is more to stay consistent and reliable for your customers rather than innovate, or are both important?
This basically is what you said now. Is basically the formula of having a company like Artic. It's like as a customer, you have to have this feeling. Number one, quality and consistency, but innovating new stuff. Like I already did that. Is there. You have to surprise the customer, not too much and not too little, because in the end of the day, people are just coming, grabbing, going, and they know what they want.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, like I said, have my two favorite things there, and I would be crushed if I went and they weren't there. So
exactly.
I really appreciate the consistency of this. Miners also has a bakery, and we are changing our offerings quite frequently.
Okay.
And it's exciting to have, new stuff, so people can come in and try new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, dealing with customer service, know that people are sad whenever we lose something or change something.
And then when you are in this food business, you really know how disappointed people can be, and we always try to make them happy, and convincing a customer to try something new instead of what they wanted is not an easy task. But in the other way around, we have to do new stuff, but I would say don't do too much.
And so does this consistency ever bore you? Are you feeling like you're still able to be creative?
Yeah, I love doing plain croissant until I die.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that's basically your answer. I don't care. But we behind the scenes, we are always having fun with the recipes, and that's the moment when we put little beer on the table, we put the music up and having fun. But when we are actually digging into the recipes, it's totally silent. That's basically the nerds talking, And when we know what we're doing, we just go and rock and roll. And this is one of the colorful thing about being a baker.
I would equate it to, I do ceramics. And so working with the dough or working with the clay, it's really manual work that you are kind of making a similar shape over and over again, because I would love making cups. Mm-hmm. But I could also do this every single day for forever, because you it becomes muscle memory.
It does.
And it's relaxing.
Yeah.
Would you say it's therapeutic for you, baking?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
So if you have a bad day, are you making croissants 2 a.m?
No. And I cannot do it anymore.
No, yeah.
Artic Bakehouse is getting quite it's getting quite big, in a way, but we are keeping it really, really real. We are not taking any shortcuts and whatnot. And there are always some, of course, pluses and minuses in everything you do. Our job is just to remain the Artic as it is from the beginning. And if there are mistakes done in Artic or in other companies, everybody starts to work on it. We are human. We have done tons of mistakes in Artic. That's the reason we are here. We learn from them and we adapt to the environment and everything. We are really trying to be Czech company, local bakery, and which we are. We are I would say more than 80% of our income comes from local. Our locations are not like touristy, we came here to be Czech.
And part of the community.
And we are.
There are tons of Czech bakeries, and there are a lot that I love. Mm-hmm. But I definitely love the aesthetic of Artic a lot. I think you guys have done really well in terms of marketing, and then you also have great products to back it up.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I like sourdough. Don't hurt me. I don't know if I love sourdough, but what makes your sourdough so special?
No, like I made my starter, which I use here in Iceland, like 15 years ago or something. And I made like 50 or something. And this one was like, I liked it the most. So I just started using it. And I really know him. I love him. And I like it because I was just making really small batches of breads just for like really small bakery in Iceland. And then when you start Artic, it was the same. Like we just have a small company, and we just 11, and we were just making a few breads, and it was really cute. And it is not so cute anymore, like I'm explaining, but it's cool now.
Yeah,
it's fucking cool, and I'm gonna try to make it more like that because, my sourdough, I cannot say. I don't want to say anything. I'm better or worse than anybody. I am just making my sourdough, and I have my methods, and it's quite tricky to handle sourdough. I have perfect loaf every day, 365 days a year. It is tricky, and when I came here and nobody knows how to do it, then I've trained over 50 people now. Training people is a challenge, because I am the one making them. And Artic was getting really popular, so I have to produce a lot. So I got tired. So I have to find some energy to give this knowledge to someone. And 2 years, it was like a nightmare, to be honest. But now it's a dream. It's fantastic.
We've talked about this before with our CEO, Igor, but like the further you expand, the kind of further away you might get away from your original intent or process.
That's true.
And you really have to put trust into like a good team of people and make sure that they are going to deliver the same kind of quality and results that you are hoping for.
That's totally true. But if you fall in the trap of being like mass producing something, and you sacrifice the recipe, like the way the charm of some recipe, so it could be mass produced somewhere, you will lose the charm, and you're taking shortcuts maybe every day because it's getting big. We don't. It's like if I start doing that, I will go home back to Iceland and I'm done. We are not gonna do that because that's not the passion anymore. The passion is to find a way to remain this way
quality.
And do it in the same way, even though it's like started like a few breads and now it's a few thousand. It's a huge step to handle. And believe me, I learned how to do it. I didn't know how to do it when I came here because I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Making a nice loaf of sourdough and then selling it to thousands of people is quite different. There's a lot of steps in between. Making your passion into some kind of business.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you have good partners that are definitely business oriented to help with the growth.
So, 100%.
And so now, how many locations do you have? 4?
We have 4, and we are open up the 5th now this year. I will not say now where it is, but we have it. It will be official next month.
Oh, great!
And it's going to be like kind of a Ujas store all over again. It's going to be like ovens, bakers, and everything. It's going to be an independent store. So I'm really excited for the location and the idea what I have about it. And so, this keeps me going, to create not just bread, also the store around it.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about opening another location?
It's when you have the location and you got the keys and you're like, it's done. And me and my partner, I don't know if many people know this, we designed and we built every store ourselves.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
We have a lot of beer, a lot of laugh, a lot of wood, and a lot of screws, and like it's like it's going back. It's going away from what you do regularly to something that we love it. It's like my favorite thing when we open up a new store because we are creating it ourselves. And when me and my partner walk into our stores, we remember, there's a wood there. I remember it. I remember the story behind it, and all these little details that gives this more, deeper, feelings. And it's really personal. These stores, every store has a little bit different, something different, but it's really built on the same design. And we never know how it's going to end up looking when we go in.
You don't have any kind of plan beforehand, or
now it's the fifth store, so we have some idea, but we just want to play it along. We have that's the fun part.
Do you think you want to stay in Prague, or would you branch out to other cities? Or
no, I'm just focusing on Czech Republic, Prague. And this is my home. I'm local, and Artic Bakehouse is a local bakery, and this is what Czech people can offer other people. And I'm proud of it that I put something in when I came.
So no aspirations of becoming a chain or.
Not on my watch. You never know what happens to companies when you get older, and if I'm going to be, we never know. But what me and my partner, we are just 100% Artic Bakehouse, Prague, and that's the whole idea.
Obviously, baking in a way brought you to Prague, but has it taken you on any other interesting adventures or places? Or
yeah, we travel a lot, finding ingredients, and if you find ingredients, I have personal connection with my mill, what brings me the flour, or if I need marzipan or whatever it is, or some machinery or some decoration for the store and whatsoever. And so we travel a lot to be there, firsthand. I don't have a middleman in where I buy my stuff. I buy it directly from the producer.
That's great. But also, a lot more work for you then, right?
Yeah. It gives me I can have much better ingredients, and the extra cost goes on, my work, and I don't have to put every crown into the price. The price you pay for breads like ours it relies on the time it takes to make it, the knowledge. It's like when you buy a bread from Artic Bakehouse, it's been fermenting for 16 hours. It was made the day before, and it's been fermenting and handled and shaped and stored and cooled, and it's a lot of long process, and the ingredients has to be healthy. Fermenting healthy ingredients will give you a healthy bread.
Have you ever had any troubles or problems sourcing the ingredients?
Problems with
sourcing or?
Yeah, in the beginning, but now it's no problem. And when you're an unknown number, people are, now people are trying to sell me products, and it's too late. I know what I want, and now I have time, and I can get what we can get what we want.
Yeah, and why change a good thing?
Yeah, and I will always upgrade ingredients if they come to me, if I find them, and we are always on alert to find that. And that's the beauty. You never stop upgrading, trying to upgrade what you have. That's part of being in business.
And so when you are out and you're trying to find better ingredients, traveling, are you also perhaps doing some research and trying some other bakeries?
Yeah, I always go and check out stuff, and I'm not like trying to be inspired. I just want to be. I want to know what people are doing, and I respect every bakery, every restaurant, everything, and because there's a hard work behind it.
Yeah, I mean, you can appreciate it because you know how much work goes into it.
Yeah, especially when they do really, really good products. Then I really respect it.
So on your day off, what restaurant or bakery are you going to?
I don't go to a lot of bakeries. I've done it, and once in a while I drop by somewhere just to even I'm more trying to say hello, and then trying the products. But yeah, I do that. Well, when I have a time, I go with friends, and I'm not a big fan of Czech cuisine. I'm not the biggest fan, but I in the beginning I couldn't, and now I'm actually, because I really go with my friends. There are some Czechs, and I go to these local places and drink beer and eat the local food, because the environment is so friendly. It's it's just part of living here. It's just this is what I did in Iceland in a different way as a local. So I don't go to places where there are tourists. Never. I just want to hang out with local people.
Yeah, the first year I actually lived in Czech Republic because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm American.
No, actually I didn't.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's good. I don't know. But the first year I lived in Česká Lípa, and it's a small town in the north.
Yeah.
And I think my experience was completely different than if I had moved to Prague, because you can live in Prague and never speak to a Czech person or hear Czech, or really you can avoid it absolutely completely in Prague.
Yeah.
But in Lipa, I think I was maybe one of the only Americans that had ever been there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's a totally different vibe when you go away from Prague.
In the smaller villages and
yeah, I think it's that's how it is basically in every country. It's like in Iceland, when you go to Reykjavik, they're really modern people.
Yeah.
And then you go to Húsavík or something or my island, it's when I go back to my island, which is I lived there 30 years ago or 25 or something. They're still talking about the same thing. They don't want to change anything. And actually, I respect it. Why changing if it works? And when I come there, they're like, "Hey, hello, David." I never left.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice in a way, to be able to go back and know that what's always been is still there. And
this is really weird for people that was born and raised in a city. They would be you don't understand it, but it's. I think it's a good thing when you're born and raised in a smaller village. I think you get more human.
I knew so many people in Lipa just because everyone knew everyone.
Yeah.
Because, it was so small. But it maybe in a way it's not great when everyone knows your business all the time. You can stay a little more anonymous in the city.
That's true, yeah.
But I think, there's definitely something to be said around the community you can form in these smaller places. You said you have 2 more locations coming up in the future.
Yeah, one hopefully this year.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be a minimum one next year too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2 locations next year. So this year we will probably see new Artic Bakehouse in anonymous location.
And are you working on any other different kinds of projects or different ideas?
Only Artic Bakehouse. Like I said, I don't want to be distracted. Because you have to run yourself and your family and all that. It takes time, and I have no interest of trying to be doing something else. Like I have more than enough to do with this company. There are endless of possibilities to grow this company here, and so I will remain there.
I really admire people that have a goal and can focus on that one goal and just keep working towards it and building on it. I'm so ADHD. I want to do something different every single day.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a lot of...
I really understand that. I am basically a little bit like that myself, but it didn't work. So I have to find some, maybe it's because I'm 43, I was totally different when I was 30, I was always trying so many things. And I would probably, if I was 30 here, I would probably had something, I would probably answer this question, yes, I have 2 projects there. But I'm just like this, it's like, it's comfy and it gives me everything I want.
Yeah, I think being content is great. I don't think we talk about that so much. Definitely when you are speaking about entrepreneurship and building businesses, it's kind of like, what's next? How do you keep going? And you're still thinking about what's next in the future. Yeah. But to be able to be content and really happy with what you're doing right now, I think it gives you a better base for
and I think
growth.
And in every business, and if people are listening to this, like that's really good advice to of course you have to think about the future, but don't be there.
Yeah,
be on the floor and have time for the future, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes a day, and have it separate from the floor. Just do it somewhere else. So because we are all, yes, we have brain and we also have feelings, and these feelings gives you idea, and so it's all connected. So if you just take it away from the floor, like the floor is working, you'll be okay.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
But before we end, I'm going to ask you a couple fast this or that questions.
Okay.
So I will just say 2 things. You have to tell me which one, and you have to do it as fast as possible. All right. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Sweet or savory?
Savory. Sour.
Sour. Cherry bomb or scone?
Cherry bomb.
Snow or sunshine?
Snow.
Early mornings or late evenings?
Early mornings.
Iceland or Czech Republic?
Czech Republic.
Baking in silence or with music?
Music.
Baking with friends or alone?
Alone.
Modest success on purpose or huge success by accident?
I want to say both, but accident. I like that.
Quality or innovation?
Again, I have to say quality because, okay, quality.
And growth or consistency?
Consistency.
Consistency. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really nice to hear about your journey to Prague and starting Artic. I'm looking forward to the new locations. I hope they are somehow closer to my work.
I will update you. Thank you very much. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Miners Coffee Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and join us next time as we talk coffee, entrepreneurship, success, and urban lifestyle. Bye!